guys, so today we're gonna talk about the random and the randint commands in Python and how are we gonna use them in a scenario like this. So let's just jump right in. So starting off with this task that we have here, which is create a list of car brands containing 5 elements and add a code to the program to generate a number and pick a random name from the list. So basically what's it gonna do is that we're gonna give a list of different car brands like BMW and whatever, and um, there are gonna be 5 different brands in the list. And now what we have to do is make the list. So the first step that we're gonna do is gonna be creating the list here, which has 5 elements. And then the second thing that we're gonna do is that we're gonna add a code to the program to generate a random number. So it's gonna generate a random number within those 5 different car brands. And then the third thing that we're gonna do is create a code which picks a random name from the list, and this random name is gonna be based on the random number that we is generated. So like for example, if BMW is second in the list and we put in 2, then it will print out BMW. So that's how it's gonna work. So let's just go right in here. So today I could have used Python idle or whatever, but I'm gonna use online Python. So it's gonna be a bit easier as well for you guys to see and for like the output and everything, because VS Code is a little bit complicated in the output part, so it's not that visible. Anyway, so let's start off with what is random. So the random command basically generates a random integer between 2 given values, and I'm gonna explain that further. So first of all, whenever we start anything about a random generation or something in Python, we always have to import random. So we import random. So now what this command does is it imports the random code library from Python, which provides functions such as randint, which we can use to generate random numbers. Now going back to the task about the vehicles or like the car brands. So let's start off with creating a list of car brands. So let's type in brands, which is a variable. Now that's how you define a variable. And now to put it in a list, we're gonna use square brackets. So square brackets, and then inside we put in example BMW, and then we put a comma and we put a space. Let's put in so there we go, we got our 5 car brands over there. Now that's the list has been made. So now what we have to do, that's the first part, which is done. The second part states adding a code to the program to generate a random number. So now we're gonna put in a code which is gonna generate a random number. And so for that we need to create a variable first so that we can print out the random number. So let's create a variable called random number. Remember that whenever you put variables, underscores cannot be in the front, and you cannot put a number in the front. So in this case, this is a correct variable because we have put the underscore in the middle. Now for this we're gonna use the random command now, which is random dot randint. Right, so now as I was talking about random before, the value on the left that we put in a random.random is the minimum value, which is the smallest value, and the value we put on the right is the maximum value. So now when we print this out, random.random 0 and 5, the smallest value is going to be 0 and the largest value is going to be 5. That's going to be printed out. Right, so in this case, actually, since we have just 5 elements, we cannot use 0 and 5 because that's how it's counted. We count 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So BMW is going to be 0 in the list. That's how it works in Python. And then now let's go to the third part, which was creating a program for picking a random name from this list of cars. So random, let's go random brand equals, now we have to connect this to the random number variable that we have stored. So now we're gonna use the list, which is the variable of our list was brands, as you can see on top over here. This, so now we're gonna use brands, and we're gonna put in a square bracket, and we're gonna place our random number variable. So now basically what this is gonna do is that the the number that we generate over here, for example, if 1 is generated, then the random brand that's gonna be printed out is gonna be Mercedes, because that's 1. So then we go down, and now we're gonna print this out. So to print it, we're just gonna type in print, as that's just simple random number, and we're gonna type in print random brand. So now let's run this code. As you can see, we got 3 printed out as a random number. So basically just printed out a random number from between 0 and 4, which was 3. And as you can see, Nissan is 3rd in the list if you start counting from 0. So that's how it works. And let's try another one. It's the same one again. Yep, so 2 and Toyota. So that's basically how it works. And this is just the simple basic part of the random command. We can define procedures, we can bring in inputs from users. We'll talk about all of that in a later video, but for now, that's it.